The first conference of the year is confirmed as an Xbox Developer Direct. Ubisoft is still in limbo as Assassin's Creed Shadows is delayed again, and the Shadow of the Colossus movie is still on the cards. All of that on the TripleJump Gaming News. Hello everyone and welcome to Friday.
Welcome to Friday. We made it to another one.
We made it to Friday. We've done it again.
It's a huge day for days. It being Friday.
It is.
It's nearly the weekend. But we've got to do some news before we get to the weekend,
news.
Ashton.
And we've got some stuff to tell you about.
Please.
Firstly, Xbox have confirmed they're doing a developer direct this month.
Oblivion remake confirmed. After all the speculation and nonsense that we were talking about on Wednesday, it was like, we think it might be happening. There's a chance that maybe there's a Oblivion remake occurring, and maybe there's an Xbox Direct this month as well. So maybe it could be there.
I mean, we don't know that it's going to be.
No, we don't
Oblivion.
at all.
We have no confirmation. Essentially, so it's on Thursday the 23rd of January at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, or 6 p.m. UK. And if you're not one of those three, I'm sorry. You're going to have to figure it out yourselves.
Central European time will be 7 p.m.
Yes, exactly. And apparently we'll get an inside look at a selection of highly anticipated games coming to Xbox Series X/PC and Game Pass for players this year. So it's focusing on the 2025 lineup. We know some of the things that are going to be there, but there is a visit, and to quote them, we will visit a surprise location to see another studio's brand new game. A surprise location.
Ooh.
Could be Bethesda.
Is it? Well, I suppose technically it's a brand new game, and it would be a studio's brand new game if it's a remake.
True.
But the wording is, I don't know. I would love the Oblivion remake to be real.
I just don't think they would announce it in this.
I don't know. It's so weird.
It's really
we don't know anything.
Weird. It is weird.
I'm excited to see whatever that might be anyway. And I've enjoyed the past developer directs as well. It really gives you a behind the scenes look at the actual people. You hear it from the horse's mouths.
Indeed.
People who are working on these games, and all three of these games look really interesting as well. I'm particularly interested in South of Midnight.
Yeah, I love the way it looks.
Not so asked about doing the Dark Ages.
No, it's not really my vibe.
I wasn't a big fan of the last one. Like the first one, I was a big fan of the last one. But they're gonna do very well when they come out. I'd be surprised if they don't. And this is the start of the hype building.
Indeed.
For them.
There's also, we're talking about Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which got announced last year, which, if you don't know what it is a reactive turn-based RPG inspired by the lavish art and culture of France's Belle Epoque.
Of course.
Epoque.
Yeah, of course. We all know that.
We all know what that means.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a few games that we know that are confirmed. We might see some smaller ones maybe sprinkled in there, but normally it's pretty much confirmed ahead of time that it will be these 4, including Mystery Studio with brand new game.
Oblivion confirmed.
I mean, I think it was at a developer direct that Hi-Fi Rush was announced and dropped. So not to be like it's Hi-Fi Rush, but maybe we'll see something of a similar ilk.
That'd be nice.
I don't think it's going to be Oblivion remaster.
Well, some clarification on what it actually is would be nice, because the descriptive terms used by different outlets is either remaster or remake, and there's a big difference between those two. So are they remaking it, or are they shining it up and re-releasing it?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't feel like they would call an Oblivion remaster or a remake a brand new game.
Well, that's my thinking as well.
So,
but watch them do that.
Yeah.
Watch them do just that.
The Phases of the Moon have said it's time for the Oblivion remake.
What do you think it's going to be?
Yeah.
Let us know down below.
I'm excited to find out when these games are coming out, because none of them have release dates thus far, and all of them are interesting enough that I'm like, hey, we would love a release date, please. Specifically South of Midnight. I think that game looks great, and I'm really excited for that one.
Yep.
But something isn't going so well for another studio, is it, Ben?
No, unfortunately, Assassin's Creed Shadow has been delayed again. Shadows has been delayed again. This is in the midst of all sorts of issues at Ubisoft. Are they selling it? Are they retaining control? Blah, blah, blah. They put out the most generic, smells like
Squirrels,
AI
all over the place
statement. It really it's not from a significant developer. No. It's not from the team. It really does sound like it was written by an AI.
And all the words are just gobbledygook, of just random bits of business speak that we don't understand. I don't think I have the public statement written down, but I do have the statement that was made the press release is here, sorry.
Yeah,
I have
it is
got the
here.
press release.
So there's a few bits to it. The first being, as part of the renewed focus on gameplay quality and engaging day one experiences, it has been decided to provide an additional month of development to Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yes.
Ubisoft said. That's not long. A month is really not going to make that much of a difference.
That's what I mean. It's really weird. Like, it was originally meant to come out on February 14th, Valentine's Day, Day for Love. But it's now coming out on March 20th.
Could this be a tactical thing? Are there lots of games releasing it?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
They've got maybe Avowed like the week after, and Monster Hunter Wilds comes out 3 weeks later. So if anything, they're putting themselves in contention with that having to come out after it. So it is a bit of a weird one, and I don't know how much difference like 6 weeks would make.
No, I don't either. The statement continues, this additional time will allow the team to better incorporate the player feedback gathered over the past 3 months and help create the best conditions for launch by continuing to engage closely with the increasingly positive Assassin's Creed community. That's a lie.
That is
That's just, they've lied there.
Yeah.
And then it ends with what we love to hear about. Put it out in a public statement to the gamers. Let's talk about the shareholders.
Yeah.
Per the press release, the company has appointed.
Oh no, this was the press release that came out separate from.
Oh, this was a different one.
Yeah. So that's
My
the
apologies.
Assassin's Creed information.
Right.
And then also at the same time that was kind of being announced, the Ubisoft CEO and CFO, Yves Guillemot
Old Eve.
and Frederic Duguet, were on a call with a bunch of their investors, answering questions regarding like the state of Ubisoft, that being the fact that they've had trouble financials, they're cutting costs, the company is maybe being sold to Tencent, like all kinds of things. But they didn't really give much information in that call. However, they put up the delay announcement and then put up a press release regarding the future of Ubisoft, where they were talking about, it seems like they're confirming they're preparing to sell, like it's a bit weird. They basically said, and again, here's where all the screwjaws are, appointed leading advisors to review and pursue various transformational, strategic and capitalistic options to extract the best possible value for shareholders. This process will be overseen by the independent members of the board of directors. Ubisoft will inform the market in accordance with applicable regulations if and once a transaction materializes.
Board.
Did you have fun listening to that?
Everything is on fire there.
Everything is on fire.
We talk in the podcast that goes out tomorrow. We recorded it yesterday. We were talking about our predictions for the next year. Big upheaval at Ubisoft is logically one of them. We talk about it in a bit more detail.
Yeah.
And just how important Assassin's Creed Shadows is, because they don't really have much else going on.
They have nothing
and it sounds like they're just fumbling it every step of the way.
Yeah.
The line about the increasingly positive Assassin's Creed community is incorrect. They are dunked on left, right, and centre all over the internet.
Like,
anytime they do anything,
well.
Ubisoft, there's that out of context quote that goes around a lot. You've probably seen it. You may have used it yourself to detract from them.
And you may have already commented it on the comments because you saw the Ubisoft in the title.
About how they want you to not own your games anymore. That's an out of context quote. That's
Indeed.
not actually what they said, but it is spread like wildfire across the internet. They can do nothing right. Unfortunately, they are actively not doing anything right.
No.
But in the eyes of players and the increasingly positive Assassin's Creed community, even if they were doing things right, they can't win.
Well,
There's nothing they can do.
There's also rumours that Tencent is becoming reluctant to bring Ubisoft under their wing because the Guillemot family want to regain control of it. So I don't know really what's going to happen. There's not that many other companies that are kind of big enough to buy Ubisoft and like wanting to
in
put
the state
Ubisoft
it's in
under
as
their,
well.
Yeah.
It's difficult and it's really worrying for a lot of reasons. You know, mergers and acquisitions is something that we don't like because it always leads to job losses.
Yeah.
But the way Ubisoft is going anyway, job losses are seemingly inevitable, and it's awful because they are. That may not be the case anymore now that we've got Activision, Blizzard, Bethesda, Microsoft.
Yeah.
But they were, at least for a long time, citation needed, and probably still are, one of, if not the biggest employers, biggest publishers in the entire world. They've got studios all over the world. They employ thousands of people.
I mean, they shut a few down over the last 6 months. We've seen them kind of closing a few of their further afield studios. I think it's a shame because I think Ubisoft is like such a kind of like legacy in the games industry, and they have so much good in them.
Got so much good IP and so many good series and
Amazing.
franchises.
And I think it would be a shame to just watch it crumble away. So I hope that if they can be saved by a studio, a bigger company, maybe that would be a good thing. But man, it's not looking good at Ubisoft. This is what, like, the 8th month of panic from like what's going on with Ubisoft, and to delay Shadows again. Yeah. Oh, that does not look good. It does not bode well for them at all.
No, it doesn't. The Guillemot family, I mean, Ubisoft is them, but they just keep making bad decisions, and I don't know. Ultimately, they're accountable because they're right at the top. But something has got to change. I don't know if entirely new owners are necessarily going to make things better. No. But, well, we'll have to see.
No. Well, the last thing to talk about today is just a little bit of a twinkle of hope in a man's eye. Twinkle. In that the director attached to Shadow of the Colossus movie, which is, where is his name? Andres Muschietti, who directed hits such as The Flash, Mama and It, has been on the radio in Argentina this week saying that, hey, it could still happen.
It's not happening.
It could still happen. It could still see the light of day. We promise. Bear in mind, this movie was announced in 2009.
Was it really that long ago?
Yeah.
And he was confirmed to be directing it in 2014.
He was put on it in 2014. So he's been attached to this project for like going on 11 years now. Yeah. The project itself has been announced for, quick maths, 14 years. Mm-hmm. So it's, I'm not entirely sure he's correct in his, hope, but it's good to have dreams and goals.
Sure.
But he says the film has been in development for 10 years and now the possibility of making it opens up. Shadow of the Colossus is a cult game, this is translated, by the way. Yeah. But to make a good film, there is a studio that puts the numbers and says how much it is worth to give the director. 200, 150, or $100 million. There are different versions of the film, and obviously I want to give them I want them to give me 200 million, but this is another factor to take into account.
It's not happening.
It's not happening.
It's simply not happening. If there was ever a time for this to have come out, it would have been maybe around the time of the remake in 2018. The ship has sailed. It's a phenomenal game, and a movie would be really interesting. I'd like to see how that works. Having said that, though, Sony have made similarly strange decisions relatively recently. They made the Twisted Metal TV show, and that series hasn't had a game for bloody ages.
It's true.
But the fact he's going on Argentinian radio, he's clearly been asked about it. He's not bringing it up himself.
It was probably brought up because they knew it was attached to it, and Sony announced the Horizon movie and the Helldivers movie, and they were like, hey, you've got that PlayStation movie.
How's that going?
He's like,
I'm attached to it still, and then he gives a brief explanation of how movies are made, but doesn't say anything specifically about how this one is being made. This comes, of course, on the same day that the Sleeping Dogs movie has been confirmed cancelled. Mm-hmm. That is confirmed, and that's also a game that I think probably came out in like 20. It would have been like 20. That was a PS3 game, so that was like 2010, 12? Yeah, 11, around that kind of time. Don't know when the movie was announced, but these things do gestate for a long time and they don't happen. I at least believe that the stuff Sony's announced recently, they are actually going to follow through on, because they have been releasing things.
This is true.
But things like the Bioshock movie, this, Sleeping Dog, anything else that's been, in development now, I bet there's a Splinter Cell movie that was announced 2 decades ago.
I mean, they made a Borderlands movie.
Yeah, and it took them a long time.
It was
really good.
Really good. So worth all that time and energy.
I can't wait to rewatch it when they release it on Blu-ray. It's probably out on Blu-ray.
Yeah, in 3D with my 3D glasses on.
Yeah.
So I don't think this movie's coming out.
No.
But it's, I'm glad that he feels excited about it.
I mean, he's putting on a brave face. He's still attached, at least.
I mean, it's not like he's not had any work for 10 years.
He's been doing stuff.
He's been busy making...
He made The Flash.
Well,
another good one.
So good. I didn't even watch it. That's how good it was. I couldn't bring myself... I didn't want to put myself through that experience. I know nothing would ever live up to it. Maybe a Shadow of the Colossus movie. Yeah. But probably not. So let us know what you thought about everything we talked about today, about Xbox. What are you excited? What do you think the game is? That is like really exciting, actually. What do you think the game is?
Oblivion remake.
But yeah, let us know what you thought about it. We discussed in the comments below. Check out the podcast tomorrow. Like we said, we discussed our predictions for 2025 and also a bunch of other stuff. We were proper yapping. It's a big one.
Yeah, we had lots of games to talk about that we've been playing.
So check that out on the podcast channel tomorrow. Make sure you're following our socials for all up-to-date current news stories up on there. And yeah, that's about it really. We'll see you on Monday for another news video.
Have a lovely weekend, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.